Hello everybody, we are at Ocean Park, which is actually the mouth of the San Ynez River, where it feeds to the Pacific Ocean. And there's a train track for Amtrak right there. But yeah, lots of water here at the mouth. Lots of driftwood. But you know, when you have all this ice plant and stuff, you really got to be mindful. There's rattlesnakes out here that live in the ice plant. So, beautiful day. Not so much wind. Brought Loren and his bike out so he could ride out in the parking lot area, and he can actually ride all the way back to the highway if he wants to and come back. He just can't go on the beach itself. But I wanted to check to see if they still had those dolphins over here that I took pictures of all 3 kids on many years ago. Let's see. Oh no, they changed it all up. The dolphins are gone. How sad. How sad they have this one now. But yeah, people can come out here and barbecue. It's beautiful.
Alright, I got like, there's a stick. Little sticks.
They took the dolphins out, Loren. Remember the dolphins? We haven't been out here a long time. Beautiful.
I remember, you know when they
Beautiful juniper. Evergreen tree.
Look, there's another squirrel.
Looks like this one died. I got to go show you. We gotta walk around to the beach, so we gotta make a straw over underneath the train bridge. God, I haven't been out here in a few years. Yeah, see, across on the other side is all VandenBerg Air Force Base. Let's see what this shows. Tide-pooled neighbors. God, I need to go on a hike. I feel like I need to go on a hike. I don't see any fish. Because the steelhead trout do feed up through the river. Nice and peaceful out here, huh? Look how rusted up this used to be. Look at. I mean, yeah, look how rusted up. I'm surprised that, it's still. How. You would think it would fall apart.
You know that you view from like the outside layer, what's gonna
Yeah, but you know what, honey? I mean, when you're this close to the ocean, you get oxidation, and the salt air is what causes all the rust. But rust will go through the entire.
When it collapses, and it'll bleed itself.
Yeah, but it's always best not to happen. Not to have an accident when it happens. Did you see the bench over here? Come here. See, there's a part of the old pier. Oh, they put all this in. Keep people off the beach.
We're going to the actual beach later today.
Huh?
We're going to the actual beach later today.
You mean to the other side? Well, then you'd have to leave your bike on the bike rack.
Oh.
You know what I mean? That's why I came out here, so at least you had the parking lot and you'd go back on the trails and stuff and back on the road area.
How about like that area, like way over there? That
Where?
there.
No, you can't go there. That's off limits because of nesting. Yeah, the whole beach is off limits.
I know that. Like under the season.
See, they even have this access closed off. And then here's the bench in memory of Rocky Candell. He was Helen Candell's son. 6/25/50 through 8/7/1999. Helen Candell, whose son Stacy did the documentary A League of Their Own, and then Tom Hanks nabbed up the movie, and it became history here. But this is where she raised her kids. And then I met Casey, like within 2 years of me moving here. I met Casey, and he's now like team manager for the Mariners up in Seattle. But yeah, he was working for a plumbing business down here when I met him. And he signed some cards for me and some baseballs for the boys and the kids, which is really nice. Man.
What look like a tusk?
Huh? What does that what?
See that wood right there, the wood piece?
Yeah, that used to be an old pier.
No, not the pier, the wood right there. It looks like a tusk.
It looks like a tusk.
Right there. No, that in the distance right there.
Oh yeah, it does, huh? Sticking up out of the water, huh?
No, not out of the water. Right there. Look where I'm pointing. Look.
Oh yeah, it does. I see where you're looking now, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, Loren? They've got trash here. Hi. Is the trail closed off too?
The trail from here to the surface.
Yeah.
You can get most of the way, like along the railroad tracks, but down around here it is. But if you go down to Surf Beach, part of Surf Beach is open.
Well, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be a beach guard back in 2002 when I was pregnant with him.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't come out here that often anymore. My kids aren't little anymore. We used to spend a lot of time out here.
Yeah.
Out here and at surf.
See, I got something stuck in my foot and it's
Oh,
very
no.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, it looks like she's got burr in her tail,
Yeah.
too.
I gotta sit down. I have to wait till she calms down, or she won't let me do anything. She's just too upset.
It's so nice out here today.
Oh, no. It's usually so windy out here. But it's just so nice today.
No fog either.
So I talked to a guy out here the other day that said he walked here from Surf Beach. So
Yeah.
I've not.
Yeah, see, they've got the trail closed off because the trail starts on the other side where you go through right here. And then it goes.
Along the railroad tracks.
Yeah, but it was on the other side of the fence line, though.
No, he was on this side.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, there's another
This
trail?
side is closed, so he walked right along the railroad tracks and along this side of the fence, and that's what he said. Anyways, I have not tried to do it myself. I just took his word for it.
Oh.
So I
Have
drove
you-
down there.
Are you from
yesterday.
Lompoc?
I am not.
Oh, where are you from?
I am from upstate New York.
Oh,
Recently
wow.
Moved to Santa Maria, and just trying to learn this area.
Well, you came to the right place. I was raised in Santa Barbara County. Actually, I was raised in Napomo, just north. But my dad worked out at VandenBerg. So, yeah, I can tell you a lot about the area.
Well, this puzzles me. Was this a dock? Or?
Yeah, it was. Back in, I can't remember what year. You would have to go through the museum downtown on South 8th Street. It's in an old Carnegie library. So when you take 246 out, you make a right on 8th Street, and you'll see it right there in the corner. But it's got a lot Chumash artifacts in there.
How did ships get in here? Was there not a sandbar there, or did they take the sandbar out every year? Or?
No. That's all natural.
But how would a boat get in here to tie at a dock in here?
I
can't figure that out.
You know what? They did it somehow, because the base has been here. I don't know how long the base has been here, but I remember my dad used to always come up here when it was Camp Cook before it was VandenBerg Air Force Base. And they used to come up on a dirt road from Long Beach before there was even a highway. Yeah. So it's just like on South VandenBerg where the launch facilities are, where the launch slicks are. They call it, what is it? They call it a slick. Launch complex. Space launch complexes are. But it's like they had docks and stuff down there by Point Prisma too, where the lighthouse is, and they have their own boathouse and stuff over there.
And I guess I've never seen around this side of it. Maybe you can get in around this side. I don't know what the sandbar looks like around the bend.
Oh, you know what? It just goes straight. Because you see where the water is?
I do.
That's the beach. It just continues on straight. So when the nesting season is over, I think it's, at the end, the 1st of September.
Closed the entire summer?
Yeah, when I got here, I got hired as a beach guard, and that's what they were protecting was the Western Snowy Plover Nesting. Because that's when they nest. But any other time, because after 1st September, it's open to the public. You can go any direction as far as you like, because they actually got several shipwrecks down that direction.
Really?
Yeah.
Past Surf Beach?
Yeah.
Past Surf Beach.
There's the Sybil Martinson. The Sybil Martinson, you can actually see because it sticks up out of the sand. And a lot of times, when the tide comes up, it washes away a lot of the sands, and some years it exposes the whole skeleton of the ship And then if you go down farther, there's sea caves. Down near Prisma Point and Honda Point, there's sea caves.
And you can walk the entire way along
Yeah,
the beach?
yeah.
Is there camping anywhere around?
Yeah, at Halama Beach. It's right off of Highway 1. I don't know if you're familiar with Highway 1 that takes you into, that meets with the 101 that goes down to Santa Barbara.
Yeah, I think I'm confusing the 101 and the 1. Aren't they the same sometimes?
Yeah, yeah. They do meet up, but it's the one that actually hugs the coastline. You know, and then it meets up with the 101. But the 101 is considered like 8th Street in Lompoc too. And then 246 is considered part of it. And then you get on the one again, or you could stay on 246, and the 246 meets with the 101. So does the regular Highway 1. It's about the same distance, 16 miles.
To go to Halama Beach. Or to go to where?
Well, Highway 1 will take you all the way back to the 101 down near Gaviota. I don't know if you've been to Santa Barbara yet. No?
Oh, over 154.
Oh,
over
okay.
the Kachuma Pass.
Oh, okay. So you haven't been on that portion of 101. Well, there's a tunnel right there in Gaviota Pass, and it's beautiful. But there's Gaviota State Beach right there. Once you go past the rest stop, there's a beach right there, State Beach right there. And then Halama Beach is like, you turn on Halama Road off of Highway 1, and you make a left, and it's about a 20-30 minute drive just to get there, but it's very beautiful.
I have to do that. And there's camping there.
Oh, yeah. Camping and
is the beach
hookups.
closed for
No.
plover season?
No.
Just here.
Yeah, just here because of the Air Force Base. Runs 3 beaches here. That one, this one, and then they have Wall Beach, which is on base, and then they have Midman Beach, which is northern VandenBerg. So actually 4. Yeah.
And they're open to the public during non-snowy plover season?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They say you can travel all the way down along the beach, just don't leave the beach. Otherwise, it's considered base property. Yeah.
So they return the beach back into public property.
Yeah. Yeah. They told me, Fish and Wildlife told me that the beach is always public property. You know, but once you cross over the tracks and go into the base property, well, then that's when you can
Get in trouble.
Right.
Settle down a little bit. And then
But you would love Halama Beach. It's beautiful, and then that's where the San Julian Ranch is, where it's like a few thousand acres, and they shoot a lot of movies.
Oh.
And they just started this ranch to table thing on Instagram to where they cook, and you pay so much, you can spend an evening with a lot of the local area winery owners and stuff, and drink wine, and then they cook fresh organic produce that they sell right there on the ranch, and there's a lot of that stuff here.
Cool.
Yeah.
So how do you find out about it besides sitting at the beach and hoping somebody knows?
Are you on Instagram at all? No social media?
No social media.
You know what? You could find out a lot if you stop at the Chamber of Commerce in Lompoc.
Okay.
It's right there on the intersection. When you go back, it's right there on the intersection of Ocean. Ocean is also 246. So it's on the intersection of Ocean and I.
Okay.
So it's like right before you get to 8th Street.
I've seen the Lompoc. There's some information online. I don't recall seeing that.
Explore
but I've seen
Lompoc?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it on there?
Yeah.
So that.
Well, it may not be on there. Explore Lompoc is more basically just to lead people, to show people what's here.
Yeah, that's. how I
But the
found
Chamber
all
of
the
Commerce
rural-
has really all the brochures and everything of what there is to do here.
Do you live in Lompoc?
I actually live just north of where the mission is, La Prisma Mission.
Okay.
So I live up there outside of town about 3 miles, but I love it up there.
Yeah.
I was raised, in the country, and I love it.
Yeah, they're building some new stuff out there. I'm working out at the mission as a docent sometimes.
Oh,
Wanted to get involved when I came down to this area and try to not, try to meet people, and it's hard to move to a new area.
yeah.
When
And get to
people
know
have been-
everything.
Yeah, when people have been here a long time and they know each other, everybody already knows each other, and then you just constantly feel like an outsider.
You're not an outsider. We treat everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
that's the way we are here. We're very, very tight community, with people. We like to educate
I
people.
think that Lompoc is so beautiful. I
It's
just really
funny.
love
My
it there.
sister lives in Santa Maria, and she says she cannot stand Lompoc. Lompoc was so small back when I was growing up as a kid. When I was 16 was the last time I had been here. And it was really, really small. It wasn't big at all. It's just like the house I live in was built in 1959. But it's like, but every place downtown, it's like it was a small, tight-knit community. But, it's like, but, the community is really, really tight and really,
I keep hearing that.
yeah.
So then I don't know. Well, I don't know. We'll try, but I don't think I
Santa
got
Maria
one
has
audio
grown
for-
so much since I left.
That's
'Cause
what everybody says.
I left when I left in 1979 and joined the Air Force and came back. It was like, whoa. Even my hometown.
Were you stationed here?
No.
No, never.
No,
Did
I
you
tried
want
to.
be? Yeah.
Yeah, I did. But then, that didn't work out. I ended up, closest place I ended up being was down at March Air Force Base in Riverside. But that's about as close
My
as I got.
son-in-law's in,
But at least I had some access to a beach because I was in Oklahoma for a year, and then I was in Missouri for a year, but then I was in the Azores for 2.5 years. But I really miss the ocean.
I get
It's just not the same without the beach. I'm sorry. We've always had a beach when I was growing
I
up.
can see that if you're used to it. I wasn't raised around a beach, but my mother was on the East Coast. She was from Maine, and she loved it. She just loved it. She would have done anything to get to a beach. And I wasn't raised with it, and so I appreciate it, and I think it's beautiful. But if I didn't have it, I would find something else that was beautiful, and that would be okay with me. But I know there's a real sense of home about the beach to anybody that was raised near it.
There is a wild horse sanctuary too on the way out to Halama Beach that if you're interested in going to see is really nice too. I've been a volunteer there since before he was born.
Really? And does anybody ride out there, or just?
No, because they preserve the wild horse herds because the BLM rounds them up and then they don't, and then they just ship them out, and all the families are separated and traumatized, and a lot of the stallions get castrated and gilded, and so yeah, she's preserving the herds. Yeah, so she has like.
Is it nonprofit? I mean, how does
Yeah,
she afford
yeah.
it? Like,
Yeah, it's
wow.
nonprofit. She has over 300 acres out there, but she has built an international following, from a lot of countries and within the U.S.
That appreciate her work.
Oh yeah, I mean she's very, very determined. I mean she's the backbone behind the laws of preserving the herds in the wild. So she actually won her lawsuit because she filed a lawsuit against the BLM because from her own research she discovered that PZP, that if you dart the mare's PZP, it's like a natural birth control. There's no side effects or anything to them, but some of mares are immune to it for some reason and it doesn't affect them, but most mares it will.
PCP, like the drug that people take to get high?
No, it's not PCP.
That. Oh,
No.
I thought you said PCP. Like,
No,
what?
PZP.
Oh, PZP.
Mm-hmm. Huh? Yeah. You gotta go back to the car? Well, don't lose them, okay, hon?
Nice catch. actually never seen one of those little birds that they talk about.
Oh, the little snowy plovers. They're very cute. They're less than 6 inches or 4 inches big.
So you've seen one?
Oh yeah,
I keep
and their
putting my
nests.
field
You got to
glasses
be
out and-
very careful because they blend in. You know, they go along with the surf. They eat these little bugs and stuff out of the surf, and their nest. They'll nest like right in the middle of the beach, and you won't know it until you.
I just thought I might see something if I brought the field glasses, but I can't see anything.
Yeah.
So I see a big silo over there.
That's slick too. That's where I want to say Boeing launches from.
They keep it inside there.
Well, that's actually the launch complex. That's where they get it ready for launch and stuff, and so that's where they prep it.
So would it be inside there?
No, it'd be outside. If they were getting ready for launch, it'd be outside. They have a vehicle that moves it from inside to outside, and they have these big things that move it too. Yeah, there's actually, you know how you hear about the Minuteman launches?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they launched those from in-ground silos off of Minuteman Beach. So they launch them from that beach, and it goes all the way to the atoll over in the Marshall Islands somewhere.
So they're in the ground?
Mm-hmm.
So do they have underground tunnels to move them there, or how do they get them into the ground?
I don't know. Yeah, they probably do. From my understanding, they do. There's a lot we don't know on how they move things around.
There's so much beach, open beach. I would think that it would be vulnerable in some ways, especially since it's open. And VandenBerg,
Well, you know what though? All this area, the tides are very, very dangerous. Back in 1923, they had 7 Navy destroyers crash into the rocks, and they missed the Santa Barbara Channel. And they crashed into the rocks at Honda Point because they got lost in the fog. But yeah, all the tides out here are very dangerous, rip tides.
I hope they have some kind of surveillance, you know. This is a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of,
they do.
a lot of
You figure-
coastline that's and a lot of highly sensitive.
You can see Platform Irene over here, and I guess my dad was telling me a story one time that because he always worked at the slick launch complexes on this side, so he was telling me a story that I forget. I think it was in the 70s, where somebody from Platform Irene had published pictures of a launch, and it was a classified launch, so they had to like change the restrictions and all that stuff because of that happened. Because the oil rigs are like 10 miles out, but you could still see them from shore.
Yes. Well, I know you can in Santa Barbara. I don't know about.
They're 10 miles out, all of them.
You can see a long way down. These look a lot closer.
Yeah. They're not. So we always watch the launches from the Purisma Gate, which is right up the road a little bit. You'll see the gate on each side of the road that crosses.
Right by 13th Street.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I've never even conceptualized a military base on two sides of a public road. I just can't figure how
It's
they...
98,000 acres, this base.
98,000 acres. How can they keep it safe?
They do it by air, I guess. We figured they've got drones now. You know?
Well,
They've got radar.
Putin's pretty motivated.
Well, I know that a couple of years ago, there was like illegal aliens came in a panga boat, and I forget, where do they beach and dock? It wasn't anywhere near on base, but it was like down in between Santa Barbara and Gaviota somewhere. You know, because they'd always bring those great big bales of pot. This is before they legalized pot. But yeah, we were seeing a lot of panga boats come ashore, and it's like that's the Coast Guard too that protects it too.
There's another base down there, isn't there? Wainimi? Isn't that military?
Yeah, that's down near
installation?
Ojai. The area I'm talking about is in between Santa Barbara and Lompoc.
So Wainimi's farther
Yeah.
south?
Yeah, it's farther south of Ventura. In Oxnard. They probably avoid the military altogether. But they know that once they get north of VandenBerg, you know, or close, you know, just north of Santa Barbara, they probably figured they'd be safe.
Nope.
Well, they found the boats and they found the pot, but they didn't find the people, so.
How you doing? Are you getting thirsty? You want to drink some water? Your paint's getting awful hard.
But yeah, did you read this at all?
I did. Looked like somebody died when they were 49.
Well, you don't wait till you hear who he was. He was a son. Do you remember the movie A League of Their Own?
Yes.
That-
Gina Davis.
Played Helen Candell. Helen Candell raised her family here in Lompoc, and Rocky was one of her sons.
What happened to him?
He had a heart attack while he was surfing on Surf
49.
Beach. His brother Casey, who used to play for the Astros, the Houston Astros, when I moved here, I think I was here maybe 1 or 2 years, who was signing autographs down at the Dodge dealership. So I went down there and I got the autographs and the balls and stuff. And I was telling them I was a beach guard out here and stuff. I said, I tell all the tourists about your brother. He goes, oh, thank you. And you know what he's doing now? He was a plumber. He was running a plumbing business in San Luis Obispo back then. But now he's like the manager of the Mariners up in Seattle. But that's what he's doing, I guess, you know. Once you're in the sport, you're always the sport.
Sounds like a good job.
Yeah.
Well,
But I didn't even know he had left the area. But it was his brother Stacy that wrote the documentary, and then Tom Hanks picked it up.